We're going to practice 4 fraction questions that most students should know by the end of grade 3. I understand that math can be challenging to tackle alone. This channel is here to support and assist you or your child in learning math. What you'll need: a pencil, download our video worksheet, link in the comments, or use your own piece of paper, and time to use your brain, so no calculators are allowed. Here's a look at 4 fraction questions that we're going to solve. Feel free to pause and solve the question on your own first, or watch Ms. John guide you through the solutions. Feel free to use the timestamp below to go directly to the answer key. Question number 1. We're going to use this image to answer this 3-part question. Let's begin. So we're going to write a fraction for the parts shaded in. So this is a fraction that's going to help guide us. We're going to have the total on the bottom and then shaded in on the top. So remember, shaded in is the same as colored in. So let's find the total number of dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There are 16 total dots. Now we're going to see how many dots are shaded in. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 dots shaded in. So the top number is 7. So the fraction for the parts shaded in is 7 over 16. Now we're going to write a fraction for the parts not shaded in. First, let's write the equation. So we have total, and then we have unshaded in on the top. Unshaded in is the same as not shaded in, which is the same as not colored in. So let's begin to write the fraction. So let's find what is the total number of dots that we have. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So the total number of dots is 16. So therefore the bottom number is 16. Now we're going to find out what are the total number of dots not shaded in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 dots that are not shaded in. So the top number is 9. Therefore, the fraction for the parts not shaded in is 9 over 16. Now we're going to put this fraction into a decimal and a percent. Let's first begin with a decimal. So we're going to have the equation, and remember we found out that the shaded in over total equaled 7 over 16. In order to get this fraction into a decimal, we must take the top number and divide that into the bottom number. So we're going to take 7 and divide that into 16. So let's solve for the decimal. So we're going to do 7 divided into 16, and we're going to plug that into the calculator. And that should give you 0.4375. So our best bet is let's round it. We're going to round to 2 decimal places, and 2 decimal places is the 3. So let's draw a rough box, and in this rough box, we're going to write 0.437. So remember, we're going to round to 2 decimal places. So let's underline that 3, and then we're going to label that 3 left side and the number beside it right side. The 7 will tell the left side to go up by 3 or stay the same. Because the 7 is greater than 5, it will tell the left side to go up by 1. Therefore, the answer is 0.44. Now let's solve for the percent. So we're going to take the rounded decimal and we're going to multiply it to the answer in this question. What is the highest mark you get on the test? 100%. So we're going to times 0.44 by 100. So that equals 44. People often forget the percent sign when working with the percentage, so don't forget it. So it's 44%. Now we're going to take the unshaded in, and so we're going to start with the decimal. So here's the fraction, and then we know the fraction is 9 over 16. In order to get this fraction into a decimal, we're going to take the top number and divide that into the bottom number. So that means we're going to do 9 divided into 16. So let's solve for the decimal. So we're going to use 9 divided by 16, and we're going to plug that into the calculator. And that equals 0.5625. Now we're going to round the decimal to 2 decimal places. So we're going to underline the 6. So let's draw a rough box, and in the rough box we're going to write 0.52. Let's label it. So we're going to underline the 6. We're going to label the 6L. We're going to label the 2R. And the 2 will decide if it goes up by 1 or stays the same. Because the 2 is less than 5, it will tell the left side to stay the same. Therefore, it's just 0.56. So that's your answer, 57. So now let's find the percentage. So we're going to take the rounded decimal, and we're going to multiply it by the answer to the question. What is the highest mark you could get on the test? 100. Therefore, we're going to multiply it by 100. So that equals 0.65 times 100 equals 56. People often forget the percent sign when writing the percentage, so don't forget it. So the answer is 56%. Question number 2. Which picture shows 1/4? Take your time. Here's the answer. This image is the answer, and here's the reason. The bottom number of the fraction is 4. The image on the right is split into 4 parts, which represents the bottom number of the fraction, the denominator. Also, there is one part in the image that isn't shaded in, which represents the top number, also known as the numerator. So that's the answer. Question number 3. We're going to solve 3/6 plus 2/6. So let's go through the steps to add. Here are the steps to add like fractions. Step 1, determine which number represents the numerator and the denominator. Step 2, rewrite the bottom number in the fraction to the answer section. Step number 3, add the top numbers and solve for the answer. So let's begin. Step number 1, determine which number represents the numerator and the denominator. The top number represents the numerator. The bottom number represents the denominator. So numerator equals top number, denominator equals bottom number. Now we're going to do step 2. Rewrite the bottom number in the fraction to the answer section. So we're going to move the 6 over to the fraction in the answer section. Step number 3. Add the top numbers and solve for the answer. It says draw a rough box, and in that rough box, we're going to write 3 plus 2. 3 plus 2 equals 5. So now we're going to move that 5 to the top number of the fraction in the answer section. So that's the answer. The answer is 5/6. Question number 4. We're going to solve 6/9 minus 3/9. So here are the steps to subtract like fractions. Step 1, determine which number represents the numerator and the denominator. Step 2, rewrite the bottom number in the fraction to the answer section. Step number 3, subtract the top number and solve for the answer. Step number 1, determine which numbers represent the numerator and the denominator. So the numerators are the top numbers, and the denominators are the bottom numbers. So remember, the numerator equals the top number, and the denominator equals the bottom number. Step 2, rewrite the bottom number in the fraction to the answer. So we're going to move that 9 over to the fraction in the answer section. Step number 3, subtract the top numbers and solve for the answer. So we're going to draw a rough box, and in the rough box, we're going to do 6 minus 3. 6 minus 3 equals 3. So we're going to move that 3 to the top number of the fraction in the answer section. So the answer is 3/9. But there's another step, and that is step number 4, simplify if necessary. So in another fraction video, I will go through how to properly and slowly reduce fractions. But for now, we're just going to do it quickly together. So we got to think to ourselves, for 3 and 9, what is one number we could evenly divide both of these numbers into? So remember, when dividing the numbers into the specific number, it's not going to give us a decimal. So what can we divide both 3 and 9 into that's not going to give us a decimal? So one of the examples would be 1. but it will give us the same answer. Because they're both odd numbers, they won't evenly divide into 2. So the next one we could think of, can both of these numbers then be divided into 3? They actually can. So 3 and 9 can both be evenly divided by 3. So we're going to do 3 divided into 3, which gives us 1. And then we're going to do 9 divided by 3, which gives us 3. So that's your answer. Your answer is officially 1/3. Here's the answer key. If you got an answer wrong, use a timestamp to go back and check your solution. Good job at taking ownership over your education. You did it! See you in the next video.